What's going on, everybody? It's How To Tuesday, and we're going to continue our knot wars. It's been fantastic. I really appreciate all the comments and suggestions that you either emailed or sent to the text line. The text line, for future reference, is 305-930-7346, and you can always get me at that number. Also, there's a dedicated email address for the show. It is podcast@saltwaterexperience.com. Both of those have been pretty active with this new knot wars that we're doing. You guys want to see different knots. I'm trying to incorporate those. Today, we're going to move away from the braid to fluorocarbon that we've been doing. And everybody, I guess if you were listening, you realize that the FG knot won. It's no surprise to me. The FG knot is the strongest knot that I know from braid to fluorocarbon. The one that was a surprise, though, was the J knot. The J knot was actually much stronger than I thought, although the double uni and the FG knot were, as expected, at least by me, the two strongest knots. Today, we're going to do a different connection. That's one very important connection, braid to fluorocarbon. Another very important connection is line to lure. How do you actually tie the lure on, the hook on, whatever you're tying to the end of your line? How can you make that the strongest connection and test it and make sure that you're doing that? We're going to test two different kinds in the coming weeks. Today, we're going to test one that snugs up tight. Okay, so the Improved Clinch against the Palomar. That's what we're doing today. The Improved Clinch, probably a lot of people just call it the fisherman's knot. It is one of the most tied knots. When you're a kid, this is what your grandfather teaches you how to tie. This is the fishing knot, right? The Improved Clinch. We're doing it with 6 turns, putting it through the hole and then back through the bigger hole to improve it, using something to lubricate it and pull it down tight, so that we're going to be doing that consistently on every single one. And we're going to test that against the Palomar knot. The Palomar knot is one where you double the line, you tie an overhand, go back over the hook, and pull it tight. If you want to learn how to tie any of these knots, all of these knots that we're talking about, plus 40 other knots, you can go and check out my knot course on waypointtv.com. That link will be in the description, and you can get that knot course. It's reasonably priced, and you can learn how to tie all of the knots that we're talking about, plus many, many more. Okay, so today, what we're looking at is the Palomar knot first. I've got a Palomar knot tied, and here is all the stuff that we're using. We're using the Daiwa fluorocarbon 20 pound. Okay, very commonly used. We're going to tie that to a 3/0 Gamakatsu circle hook on both of these that we're testing. And also, in order to test this, we're using our NextTech ForceTester. And then when you're doing something, especially like this with a hook, when this hook breaks, who knows where it's going to go. So I'm going to definitely wear sunglasses to test this out. I've got it on the tester right now. And as long as I'm in focus here, I'll wrap this around this deal. And we're going to test this, okay? So the NextTech tester, the way this thing works is it will pull and break, and then it will record the strongest strength. So with 20 pound, here goes the Palomar knot on a 3/0 circle hook. I'm going to pull steadily, and it's pretty strong. Okay, it broke. The scale went flying. The hook went flying. Let's see what kind of force we generated. 18 pounds on 20 pound. So in my opinion, that's pretty good. We have 18 pound breaking strength on that knot. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll reset this, and we'll get it all ready again. And I have already tied a 6-turn Improved Clinch on the same Daiwa fluorocarbon 20 pound. And we're going to test this one out and see which one is stronger. Give me 1 second here. I'll hook this scale back up to my little rigged deal I've got going on for the scale. Okay. So we had 18.8. And now put the sunglasses back on so I don't get hit in the face with a hook. Wrap this around my little deal here. Okay, now here we go for the 6-turn clinch. We're going to test this just like we did the other. Pulling nice and steady. And here we go. Popped. Okay, that actually looks like it broke well into the fluorocarbon leader. And we're looking at a tight race here. Tight race, 17.34. So actually, you know, a lot of people might consider the Palomar knot to be a little more advanced knot. I don't know. A lot of people tie that. A lot of bass fishermen use the Palomar knot all the time. It's very strong. The Improved Clinch, very simple knot. Turns out it's also pretty doggone strong. So 17.34 against 18.8. I'm going with the Palomar. That is the stronger knot. And that 1 pound of pressure could mean the difference between winning a fishing tournament, catching a fish of a lifetime, or having it break off. So first round of the line to lure goes to the Palomar. So if you don't know how to tie the Palomar knot and you want to learn how, there's probably tons of videos out there that you can get for free. Or if you want to get my knot course, you can do that on Waypoint TV, and you can get that knot and a whole bunch more. And then you can test these knots for yourself. I mean, that's what we're doing here, is showing you how I'm testing them. I'm tying these knots myself. You should tie these knots and test them on your scale. And maybe you tie it slightly different. I don't know. You want to go with the strongest knot that you can tie consistently, and that is how you're going to be able to control the controllable. That's what we've been talking about. Great fishermen control the controllable. The most controllable thing that we have is the way we rig our tackle. You can choose which knot you tie. You can choose to tie a stronger knot or a weaker knot. You can choose to do the prep work and test things like we're doing here, and then decide this is the best knot for the type of fishing that I'm doing. I want my strongest rig. So from the braid to the fluorocarbon, we're going to use the FG knot, and then we're going to go down to the lure, and maybe we tie the Palomar knot. Okay, we're going to keep going on these knots, and we're going to find out what is the strongest connection for the knots I know. Now, you guys have been doing a great job sending me suggestions of other knots to try. Keep sending them. Area code 305-930-7346. That's how you do it. Send me the knots you want me to test, and we'll see if we can get them done. That's How To Tuesday for this week. The Palomar beats the Improved Clinch. All right, see you next week.